Why thinking you have to be healthy is detrimental to your health. Welcome to episode 121 of the Feel Light Mind and Body podcast. My name is Clarenda Price. I'm a certified life and weight coach, personal trainer, and former registered nurse. My career has always been centered around health and well-being, and my mission is to help women who are thriving in so many areas, but they're struggling to prioritize their mental and physical health. Now, I know today's topic might seem surprising. Thinking you have to be happy is detrimental to your health, but stay with me because the way we've been conditioned to think about happiness might actually be holding us back in ways that we don't even realize. There's this deeply ingrained expectation that we need to have a happy life. Think about it. Think of how many times we've said to someone getting married, "Oh, I wish you the best happiness." Or what do we think when we think about our kids? I just want them to be happy. Or even ourselves, I want to be happy again. And sure, happiness is wonderful. I mean, who doesn't want to feel happy? But when we expect happiness to be our default state, we're setting ourselves up for more self-doubt, frustration, and even poor health. Think about it. If you lost someone, would you want to feel happy? Do we want to feel happy with injustice in the world? Allowing yourself to fully experience all of the emotions, fear, doubt, love, happiness, sadness, frustration. That's what keeps us alive and feeling connected and real. Otherwise, we risk numbing ourselves or bypassing anything that's not positive. So when we buy into the idea that we should be happy all the time, yet we don't feel happy, we assume something is wrong, that we're failing, and that feels really unsettling. Then, because we think happiness is something we should fix, we go looking for solutions to feel better, either consciously or unconsciously. Most people don't sit with their emotions. We weren't taught to. Instead, we reach for distractions, things that trigger dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. We go for things that give us a boost, albeit temporarily. That could be eating something greasy or creamy or sugary or salty because it lights up the brain's reward system. It could be grabbing a drink because it takes the edge off. Maybe it's buying something that's not necessary because a new purchase can give us a little thrill. Then there's scrolling endlessly because it numbs us out, or overloading on caffeine because it gives us that quick energy boost. And guess what? It does work, but it doesn't last. And then we crash. And because the brain remembers that quick hit of dopamine, it tells us to go back for more. This creates a cycle that dulls our ability to process emotions, and it comes at a cost. It creates long-term effects like weight gain from mindless eating, or the increased stress hormone, cortisol, which causes inflammation. Also a sluggish metabolism, restlessness, anxiety, increased chronic diseases like heart disease and high blood pressure, hypertension, and diabetes. It's not just about food. It's about seeking external solutions for something that can only be solved internally. Now, imagine if we let go of happiness as the goal. What if instead we had the goal of feeling peaceful, having fulfillment and contentment? Happiness is exciting and energizing, but it's also fleeting. You can't sustain it 24/7. But peace and contentment, now that's something you can cultivate, even in difficult situations. Instead of thinking, how can I be happy? Shift it to, how can I be calm while still feeling sad, knowing that it will pass? How can I offer myself compassion when things don't go as planned? And a real biggie, how can I accept as I am instead of looking for an escape? I was coaching a client in our last group coaching session, and she was struggling. She was feeling discouraged because she'd been sick for 4 days and was judging herself. She was thinking that she should be more productive, that she was just lying around, and she was feeling frustrated. And I get it because I've been there. I rarely get sick, and when I do, I resist it. I don't like to slow down. at least in a way that I can't be enjoying slowing down. So we dug a little bit deeper into her thoughts and feelings, and she realized that she could feel peaceful right now. She could feel compassion for herself for being sick, and she could let go of the self-judgment when she's wanting to watch Netflix, because what else can she do? Instead, she can enjoy it. She can give herself permission for it. And when she stops resisting being ill, guess what? She's going to go into her parasympathetic, and that's going to be the healing, the building up phase, and she will get well quicker. I hope she goes back and watches the replay to see what I could see, and I think the others could as well, is that after we've gone through this and talked about it, and she had these little aha moments, she automatically looked brighter. She looked lighter. She didn't look as discouraged. She was just peaceful. She had a smile on her face. Her facial features, her body was just more relaxed. And that's wonderful to see. It's always fun. And the best part was that peace wasn't just really fleeting. She had a release of oxytocin and serotonin, the feel-good hormones that contribute to real, sustainable well-being. Instead of chasing happiness this week, I invite you to think about what truly gives you peace. For me, it's love and connection with myself, with others, and with God. We all have memorable moments, and one that sticks out to me time and time again is when my dad passed. I wasn't happy. I didn't want to feel happy, but what I did feel was supported. I felt loved. I felt a deep connection with my family, and I had such appreciation and gratitude for my friends and other family members that traveled to be there to support us. I felt a sweet peace and even joy within, just knowing that my dad was in his Heavenly Father's arms, and he was no longer suffering. He no longer had to deal with the diabetes and all the ups and downs he had and his dementia. And because I was grounded in something more than fleeting happiness, in the thought that I needed to be happy at all times, while also allowing ourselves to laugh, to release some tension as well. But because I allowed all the emotions, I didn't notice, at least, that I was turning to food for that comfort. There was a bigger source. There was a greater source around me and within. Society constantly tells us to chase happiness. Everywhere we look, every image, social media, find it in magazines, watch for it in movies or on Netflix. Happiness, happiness. I challenge you. Start to think and look for things that bring you peace, fulfillment, inner joy, and balance in your life. And when you sit with that question, I don't really think that you'll think of more food, more mindless scrolling, wine, or extra shopping. I think you'll find the things that are going to bring you that fulfillment, that contentment, that peace are more internal than they are external. So what do you think? I'd love to hear from you. DM me or comment on one of my posts. And if you're craving more peace and balance in your life, check out the Feel Light Mind and Body program. Whether you want to join the community or explore what one-on-one coaching is like, I'm offering you a free 20-minute consultation. You can find it in the show notes. No pressure ever, just clarity and connection, and I promise you, you'll feel better when you leave than when you started. The great news is, you don't have to settle for where you are when you know there's more available for you. Make it a great week, and I'll see you next time.